What's up, everyone? Welcome to popculture.com's group chat, where we talk about all the reality TV news that we care about and you really need to know. I'm one of your hosts, Anna Rumor.
And I'm Jameson Brown.
And I'm Victoria Magotomy.
Reality TV has been popping off this week, so we've got a ton to break down. We're breaking The Bachelorette. Like, the world has imploded in Bachelor Nation since we last spoke. So we're going to break all of that down. I'm shook. We'll get to that. Real Housewives of Potomac is back and has reclaimed its crown as the best Housewives franchise. And I have some details from my exclusive interview with Monique Samuels to dish on for that.
Nice.
Big Brothers is back, and there's no audience, which makes it a little weird, but we're still excited about it. And then we'll talk about the Bella sisters, who in typical twin fashion gave birth to their babies in less than 24 hours. I mean, it's just, you couldn't write a story like that. So let's start off with The Bachelorette, because I have to say, when I first heard this, I thought it was total BS. But no, 2 weeks in, news broke that Clare Crawley, our Bachelorette, has dropped out of filming after reportedly getting engaged with one of her suitors, Dale Moss, which is a great name. And the new Bachelorette will be Tayshia Adams from Colton's season.
Wow.
This might actually be the most dramatic season yet on The Bachelorette.
You're right. Extremely
Chris Harrison might
Chris
actually
Harrison
bring truth
voice.
to those words.
I mean, I don't think you could manufacture a more dramatic storyline. And we've never had someone who just like dips out mid-season. I didn't know you could.
Yeah. So
I think that,
go ahead.
well, I was going to say, I feel like Colton, his season, I mean, I could be wrong on this because I really did not watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette much before I started working with pop culture, but Colton's season, when he kind of like got rid of Tayshia and Hannah G and then just like went straight to Cassie, I feel like that almost set a different platform for like, you know, Bachelor and Bachelorette's kind of just doing whatever they felt was right.
I mean, I guess that's true, but they still had to film him. So, I mean...
Yeah, that is true. He didn't dip out in the middle of the season to like then pass the torch. I mean, this is the first we've ever seen of this.
Exactly. I mean, and it's wild to have two Bachelorettes in one season. I'm excited, though, because I really like Tayshia. I thought that she would have been a good choice a couple seasons ago back before even she went on Bachelor in Paradise. So I'm stoked that they're bringing her in, but I am curious, are they getting new guys, or does she have to date the guys that Claire was dating? I mean, they're filming already, and the process of bringing in new guys is a lengthy one, especially when you have to quarantine everyone for 2 weeks. So it's like we're either not getting the show on time, which I can't imagine ABC would do, or she might just be dating those guys. I haven't heard anything about them bringing in anyone else.
What's the timeline with? I'm a little nebulous on the timeline with Claire and like how it, like from start to middle to finish, you know, to this
12 days.
Well, no. So this is the interesting part, though, because people are coming at her for like quote unquote breaking the rules, but pshaw, whatever. It's The Bachelorette. They have
breaking what rules for real? Sorry,
I know, right? Yeah, like, please, this isn't the NFL. No one cares.
Golly.
So everyone remembers The Bachelorette. They announced her, blah blah blah. They're gonna announce the guys. They announced them, and then coronavirus hits, and we shut down for, you know, God knows what month we're on. I'm unsure at this point myself personally. But with the guys announced, apparently Dale reached out to her on Instagram DMs, and they've been talking this whole time. So they met in person 12 days before they got engaged, which, you know, the timeline is still whack, but it's they already knew each other and had fallen in love apparently before they even started the show.
Why do they need to be engaged though? Why can't they just like date? Like that just kind of 12 days.
Ratings. No one wants to watch people just date. Remember at the end of Colton's season where they're like, we have decided to keep dating. Everyone else was like, boo.
Oh, so they got engaged. Just, I want to be clear here. They got engaged after 12 days.
Yes.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks. I mean, these are all reports. ABC obviously hasn't confirmed what happened this season,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's still a bad decision. And let's look at all the Bachelor and Bachelorette marriages that actually A, happened, B, have succeeded. So Will they get married? Who knows? Engagement is kind of just these people being like, let's date outside of this mansion. But I was just shook that he was like ballsy enough to reach out to her ahead of time, be like, what's up? We're about to be on the same show. And then that it worked and that they really found a connection. I wonder how many other guys DM'd her that she kind of shot down.
I don't know, but I just remember her like getting mad at some of the guys for trying to, I guess, promote their stuff on social media. And she was like all over that. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm excited for Tayshia. I've liked her since day one. I was actually kind of hoping instead of, not that I hate Hannah Brown or anything, but I kind of had wished that they, I love your face on that one. I wish that they had casted Tayshia instead of Hannah. Like I really thought Tayshia was like perfect material, but I just feel like she's so like level-headed. She's either going to be really boring because I feel like she knows what she wants, or they're going to find a way to twist it and she's going to be just like the most psycho person. I don't know.
Well, I was excited too because I was kind of the same way whenever they announced Hannah, because she didn't even make it to the top 4. I mean,
no.
But she was like, what, like 7th or something like that?
It was just because she like ran on camera.
I'll be crazy.
Yeah, she was like, I'm a beast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just don't remember her making too much of an influence on the season. Meanwhile, Tayshia is like stunning, a normal person, funny, and she made it.
She seems for that show. She seems really down to earth. Kind of doesn't. It's almost like it doesn't fit.
Right,
like
exactly.
The one normal person that they cast each season. They're like, hey, well, we need someone that's halfway normal coming in the cast. We got to balance it all out.
What is this? What is this mystery?
Yeah.
Right? And when she went on Paradise, she was super funny. I remember the other girls from Colton season were like talking smack on his kissing abilities, and they were like, right, Tayshia, right? And she just was like, well, I think that there's always room for improvement, and I don't know, maybe I was a good teacher.
I know, she's so cute.
It was so savage and also so sweet at the same time, where you're like, okay, I want to watch more of that. So, and I
was also very shocked at her and John Paul Jones, of all people. I'm not hating on John Paul Jones, but he was a little weird. Just a little bit.
I loved that so much because I think he's the kind of person that you watch on TV and you're like, what? Who is this dude? He's so bizarre.
You were made for reality.
I think in real life, you would be like, this guy is delightful and like such a little weirdo. So I'm glad that she appreciates that. And it's notable that she will be the second Black Bachelorette ever. Rachel Lindsay was like, finally. Thank you.
Thank you. It's about time. Again, I thought that was it was kind of like a Mike Johnson situation. I felt like that was a perfect, scenario to put in another Black Bachelorette because she made it to top 3. She was fabulous. People loved her. And so the fact that it took them getting all the way here for that was just like, come on, people. But hey, we got her in. I'm excited to see her. I'm excited to see how this season like how they're going to edit it and how they're going to show both Bachelorettes and how they're going to do the send-off. And like you said, Anna, I'm interested to see, is she going to take over the guys that weren't picked, or did they kind of have like a backup plan? I don't know.
Well, here's the kind of interesting thing. Hannah Ann from Peter's season of The Bachelor was spotted filming with them just this week, like with her suitcase talking to the producers, and people were like, oh my gosh, what is she coming in? Are we having like 3 Bachelorettes this season or something? But I saw a theory online where it was maybe she's coming in to give a speech about like being not the first choice, being like having things not work out the first time around and having to kind of reimagine your dream scenario. So I think that's probably more likely than them bringing in just like throw them all in, bring in all the women from the past.
I think people got too excited for that one because it's not uncommon for former Bachelorette contestants to come in, give some advice and, whatever. I mean, we're probably going to see that with Tyler Cameron, once his pal becomes, the Bachelor. So, but I'm excited for Tayshia.
I'm excited. At first when this all kind of came out, I was like, that sounds like BS because contracts and and people are just been making up a lot of stuff because we don't have an inside scoop because it's all happening within this little resort. But then it's like Rachel Lindsay, Colton, Ali Fedotowsky, Ben Higgins, they're all weighing in. They're all being like, congratulations, Tayshia. So I'm assuming that this is 100% true. Otherwise, they would not.
And Lauren, Zima, that's Chris Harrison's girl. Like, you're not going to have someone
throwing us off the
path. Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited.
Right. No, me too. So it's going to be a good season. Very excited. Another show that is having an awesome season right off the bat is Real Housewives of Potomac. It premiered last Sunday, and the first 2 episodes are live on BravoTV.com. So I've watched the first 2. I'll only talk about the first one, though. If I sprinkle in details from the second one, I'm sorry. It's not spoilers, but I'll try and keep it to episode 1. These women are the best housewives on TV. They're all hilarious. They bring it. They're straight camp. Like, Monique premieres with this African parrot named T'Challa, who is potty trained and on a leash as she goes to Karen's house. And before she goes, she's like, try not to snatch Karen's wig off. Like, these women are so funny, so delightful. I love that. Monique also potty trained her 9-month-old baby starting at 4 months. They're writing a potty training book. I talked to her about it, and she's like, it's easy. Americans really apparently potty train too late, so you should really start them earlier. And I was like, this sounds... I don't have any kids, but I'm buying that book because I've got to know. Right?
I feel like just in the small description you have given us so far, they sound over the top, but they sound like they can actually teach us a thing or two. And it sounds like these people are just made for TV, because anyone with a parrot on a leash, come on.
And it's oddly enough, like, if someone else, like if on Beverly Hills, someone had a parrot on a leash, I'd be like, trying hard. But on this one, I'm like, well, of course
if Denise came in with her parrot.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, okay, well, you want to be on camera. With Monique, I'm like, I believe you've had that parrot for some time, and you're just now showing it to us.
I always forget this one exists. I got to be honest. But when it comes
back, it's under the radar.
So it's, pretty cool.
Well, and I was talking to Monique because I was like, I feel like Potomac this year, finally people are talking about it. Finally people are giving it the credit it deserves as like top spot, because it's, it's been a couple seasons. It's the 5th season, I believe. So it's been around.
It's been on for a while.
Right, but people, overlook it, and you can, hypothesize why that is. But she was saying, she was like, you know what? Quarantine has been really good for us, because people who have been saying, oh, yeah, I'll watch Potomac, but there's just too many Housewives shows on, have run out of content and have gone back. All the seasons are on Hulu. So they're like,
no excuses now.
Exactly. Everyone's streamed it. Everyone's obsessed, and people are really ramped up for the new season. So I thought that was, I was like, you're right. That is true. Because quarantine has brought us all to different levels of streaming we didn't know we would get to.
We're meeting parts of ourselves that we never thought existed at this point. Exactly. Like, we're just, there's zero shame. There should be no judgment in 2020 at this point. Like, none whatsoever.
I've started streaming Toddlers and Tiaras, and you know what, guys? I've seen all these episodes before. I remember.
You're fast than I am, Anna.
You're watching them for a second time?
Oh, a second is a generous read. Probably. That's horrible.
Oh my gosh.
I remember who wins in each episode. Like, it's not good, guys. But back to Potomac before I expose myself too much. There's a new housewife this season who I'm super excited. We've met her a little bit. It's Dr. Wendy Asifo. She is like a badass. She's a Johns Hopkins University professor. She used to work for Obama. She's gorgeous. She's got money, which is important for these shows. And she's she's just jumping in. She's throwing shade. She's being funny already. So I can't wait to see more of her. And then, of course, the big thing that we're building up to, which happened more than a year ago at this point, but quarantine, is the big fight between Monique and Candace, which actually ended in charges being filed. They were eventually dropped, and Monique was saying, like, you know what, me and Candace are done forever, because if you try and send me to jail, like, why in the world would I try and get back in good with you? But we've seen just tiny little glimpses. They start at the beginning of the season where it's like kind of blurry, ominous footage, and then you hear someone be like, no, Monique. And then it's like 7 weeks earlier. So I'm excited to see that. Monique was saying that since then, she has learned a lot about herself. She's gone to therapy and learned that she's a reactor. So she's like, next season, I know my triggers and I won't react that way.
Good for her.
Right?
I'm down for that. Good for you.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Self-awareness.
Self-awareness
Makes all the
for the win. Yeah, but it's going to be a great season. So I urge you guys really tune in. It's so good. It's on Sundays. Second episode's so good, but I won't discuss it here because I know some people haven't listened yet. So let's take a quick break. Then we'll come back. We'll talk about Big Brother and the Bella twins, the 3 Bs. All right, we are back and we are talking Big Brother. Did you guys tune in last night for
yes,
the live move-in special?
Yes, I'm so excited.
I know you've been talking about it for like weeks where you're like, it's coming, it's coming.
I literally was not a fan until I started working here. And now I'm like the biggest Big Brother fan. So it was a little weird, which I'm sure we can all agree with. It was weird not having an audience. I mean, you're kind of used to people cheering these people on. So like when Julie Chen was like introducing, you know, they win in sections of 4 contestants at a time. You know, they're just standing there with their masks on and like, she's like, congratulations. And they're just like,
it's like 4 people clapping.
And she's like, it's okay. You can clap for yourself. They're like, oh, okay.
It's like, well, you have to. There's no one else there.
Yeah, you know, but I'm excited. I already have my favorite that I want to see go all the way. Nicole from season 21.
Oh, I do love Nicole.
I love her. She's cute as a button. She was my favorite in season 21. I really want to see her win it all. I like her. She's not like this super crazy drama starter. But also from that season, I believe his name is David. He was the last introduced last night. He's also from season 21, but he got eliminated the very first night. So I'm really hoping that he can at least make it far, in this one, just to, you know, I feel like he's the only guy coming in with like out experience. You got a lot of people like, yeah, I won this season. I was on 3 seasons. I got 4 HOHs in 1 season. He's just like, I got eliminated the first night, so I'm just here to make it past the first night.
But if you think about that, that's kind of a bonus. And I mean, at the same time, you don't have the experience, but people don't know what you're all about. A lot of these players who are coming in, they have to
change their strategy.
Like Tyler, he's one of my favorite players of all time. I love him. You know, he made it so far in his season just by being kind of like the Dom surfer guy who's like, oh, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just kind of good at sports. But he was masterminding everything in the house. He's not going to be able to do that this season. Everyone knows that that's kind of his move. So I'm excited to see what those kinds of people have to bring to us.
Yeah, it's just exciting that it's back. There's new TV back 3 nights a week.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We don't have to just wait 1 night a week. We get to watch this 3 nights a week. I mean, it's fabulous. Yep. And for those who really are like diehard, you know, you can tune in whenever. I mean,
guys, I was starting to think, I was like, I think I'm gonna watch the live streams this year. I've never watched them before because I've been busy, but I'm not now. And
we're in quarantine.
Schedule's a little open.
a little open. So I think I'll tune into the live streams.
God, so Anna's gonna have toddlers and tiaras on one TV, Real Housewives on the other TV, with her laptop in her lap, just watching the live stream of Big Brother.
Guys, I'm doing great.
You're fine. Everything's fine. We're good.
I'm really excited. Davon is one of my favorite players ever. I loved her on Big Brother. I loved her on the challenge. I want to see her win it. And I love that she was talking about, she was like, well, you know, I'm known for my like rambunctious personality, but I'm toning it back, which I mean, I love her because of her personality. So I was like, no, don't. But I think that might get her further in the game. So
I'm interested to see how she does with that one. You know, like, is she going to really be like cool, calm, and collected? Or is she going to be like that Spitfire that we all kind of love her for?
We'll see. I mean, if she's going to be calm in person, I want her to give those fiery, like, diary testimonials that she's known for, because she's like the funniest person to do those diary rooms. So
yes,
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Bailey. We've talked about her before, but like, I'm excited to see her get a second chance, because she really did have a tough first season, and I like her on the challenge. And then I'm excited to see Christmas, because it's so unfair, but she broke her foot and
I know
really could have gone all the way.
She was like, who breaks their foot when they're not the one giving the piggyback? They're the piggybacker. Like, me. Like, I mean, more power to you, girl.
I know.
Yeah,
and
because she had... Oh, well, I was going to say, yeah, because she had to go in it with a different strategy because she was like wheeling around on that thing. So she was like, I had to go all kind of like mental side of it because I couldn't compete, physically. So I'm excited that she's back too.
And it's tough too because she got voted out because they were like, well, we can't compete against you. And yeah, when you break your foot in the house and kind of like hobble around, people do feel bad for you. So I get that.
Go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what happens there. I'm excited to see some of these older Big Brother contestants who I wasn't watching Big Brother at the time, so I don't really know anything about them. There's a guy from Pittsburgh. He lives in Houston now, but we'll forgive him for that. And I'm always rooting for Pittsburgh people, so I'm just excited. His name's Tyler, I believe.
Yeah, some people were like, oh, I was on Big Brother season 6. And I'm like, what? Like, where?
I was 4.
Yeah, like
I wasn't allowed to watch TV at that time.
Yeah, right. And I think that Julie brought up a really good point too. She was like, I feel like we have more marriages come out of this than The Bachelor, which is not wrong, I'm sure. Because you look at how many contestants go in and then they're like, I love my life, including Tyler, and now they're married with kids. So it's kind of cool to see how everyone like transformed. Whereas I will say, like, sweet little Nicole, she was like, I'm still living with my parents. They're my best friends. Love them. But now she's doing a podcast. She's a podcast host and she talks reality TV. I was like, Nicole, are we going to
Nicole, we're coming for you.
I know. Yeah, we need you as a guest for sure.
Yes. Oh, I was saying
excited to see some of the older people too.
Yeah, me too. I just kind of a recap. They played this game where they had to go find, describing the Big Brother challenges is impossible because they're crazy. Would love to talk to one of the people who has to come up with them. But there was one challenge where they had to decide who was going to be in the running for HOH. And then there was another one that happened, well, it was all live, but this one really stressed me out live. It was them trying to cross these pegs. Some of them were wobbly, some of them weren't. Cody got HOH. And I thought that was interesting because, I don't know, he kind of already seems like someone you would want to vote out first. Because I feel he's like charismatic and athletic and he's made it far before with a really powerful alliance. And then he was like, well, I don't really know people in here that well, so I figured I should win HOH. And I was like, I don't know if I'd go with that strategy.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well,
threatening to the house.
Right. And then he was like, well, my strategy, it's easier for me to have people come to me with those conversations than to go to other people for those conversations. I was like, well, that's just lazy. I don't know.
It will be interesting too because so many people are married and in relationships that there's not going to be a lot of like relationships in the house. They're all
or there are, and
they're
interesting.
Ooh, that is true. That is true.
No, I think you're probably right. I'm sure these people are all very committed to their spouses, unless they're not, in which case I would love to watch that.
Please, we're here for that.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll watch that and we'll keep you updated on that. Let's move on real quickly to the Bella twins, Nikki and Brie. Bella. Creepy twin stuff. My mom's a twin, so like when I say creepy twin stuff, I mean it with all the love in my heart. But creepy twin stuff. Yeah. If you guys remember, they announced they were pregnant at the same time. They were like, we weren't both trying to get pregnant. It just happened. I don't know if I believe that. And then they gave birth within 24 hours of each other this weekend, both to boys.
I mean, that's some twin stuff right there, you know. And then of course they came out after they announced their pregnancy. They were like, people aren't going to believe us because they're going to think that like we planned this, but we promised we did it. And now they give birth.
Don't believe you.
And now they gave birth.
They have a reality show. Wouldn't it be a really good plan if they both wanted to have another kid to try doing it at the same time? Like, it's not a bad
to actually
thing.
Get it though. Like, I mean, we don't have to have an anatomy discussion here, but like for it to line up that perfectly, like, good for you guys. I mean, maybe they were like, okay, let's try having babies now, and then maybe it was just.
That's what I believe. I don't think there was anything like nefarious. Some people were like, I bet they did IVF at the same time, and I'm like, well, that sounds.
We're gonna text each other. We're gonna do it the same time every single day.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's it, but I think they did. I mean, come on, like, I think they probably were like, what if we both had a kid? because they both wanted to have another kid. So why wouldn't you line that up? No, I don't think that's a bad thing to do. So I'm not saying any. I love both of them, but whenever they were like, we didn't, it was an accident. I was like, okay. Yeah. But there's no names of the baby yet, which I know people like to hold on to that, but I'm very nosy, so I want to know. It almost feels like they didn't have the baby yet until I personally know their names. So
it's hard to find that line of like, okay, listen, you signed up for this being in the public eye, but then again, as a human, I respect your privacy. But then again, I want to know anything and everything that you do, and that includes baby names. So
I'm not even defending myself. I'm just being nosy. They have every right to keep it to themselves, but also I'm so curious. Please tell me. Just text me. It's okay. I say this all the time. If celebrities want to just text me it, like, close vault, man.
I'm cool
close
with
vault.
that.
Off the record means off the record, and I'm just personally interested. So that
but then also let us have the exclusive. Thank you.
Well, then, but if you want to just tell me on the record, then that'd be great too. This is all things we can work out once you text me. Nikki tweeted they have a joint account, which I always forget they have a joint Twitter account. I'm always like, okay.
Of course they do.
She tweeted, and how about that tag team? I can't believe Brie and I had boys less than 24 hours apart. Honestly, only us. And that I beat her. LOL. As you can imagine, everyone said it was my baby and mine's competitive side that kicked in. I can't wait for our Bella boys to grow up together. And I thought that was cute and also so sibling-y, where you would, of course, both welcome these beautiful, healthy babies and then be like, but I had mine first.
Like, beat you. I think that's cute. They're going to be able to go through, all of the motions together, and then, they'll be cousins and so close in age, and I don't know, it's just cute.
And the genetic thing,
it's cute. Good for them.
The genetic thing about twins is always so interesting, where your children, if your twins, are technically genetically siblings because they have the same DNA, so your kids still
yeah, interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, I never thought of it like that. Wow. Yes, I feel like we really do like learn something from each other each week. Like we throw in some random facts.
Something totally non-reality. I just know this because my cousin, who is my mom's twin's daughter, looks just like me, as opposed to my sister, who doesn't look as much like me. So it's a genetic thing. Interested to see what these kids.
I was gonna say, what if they grew up to be professional wrestlers and were on the same team? That'd be cool.
I would love that. Come on. If you get born into a family like that and you don't take an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And you just go on to be like a doctor or something.
Yeah. One's going to go be a professional wrestler. The other one's going to be like a scientist. Like, no, this doesn't work. Y'all need to be doing the same thing.
It's like a human rights attorney and like a doctor, and everyone's like,
Yeah. Listen, this is for our pleasure, not yours.
Come on. No. So that's great. I'm happy for both of them. Excited for the new season of Total Bellas. Every single episode makes me cry, and I can't explain why. Good work to the producers on that show.
They are cute. I do like that show.
Right? It's so cute. I don't know. Let's move on to our pop culture picks of the week. I know Jameson was really excited about his.
Oh,
yes. Yes. And I'm blanking on the name though.
Kyle Richards.
Yes. So
we've discussed this off camera, guys.
I was gonna say, is this the discussion I missed this morning?
It was very passionate.
I literally got into Slack. I was like,
I don't know why I didn't know this, or like I just completely like failed to see this. But she's reprising her role from the original. She was one of the little children in the house in the original late 70s Halloween classic. Now she's reprising it in the new Halloween Kills movie, and she's coming back as that same character. And I just thought that was just bonkers. I don't know why I think that's so crazy. It's just
mind blown.
Yeah, I think it's because it plays to this conversation we've been having over the past few episodes of how like reality television is like becoming, for some folks, like becoming their life. Like it's just all been meshing into one giant universe. And like this is that crossover, and it just completely melted my brain this morning when I found that out. Because I'm already on a Halloween franchise.
I was gonna say, already, because Jameson's like ready for Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been on a Halloween franchise kick for the past few days. I'm still on it, and then found that little detail today, and just I thought it was the coolest thing. So that is my pop culture pick of the week.
I just thought it was so funny that you were super excited about that from the Halloween angle, and you mentioned it to me, and I was like, yeah, that's why she has those bangs. And you're like, what? I'm like, oh, you're right. It's more interesting from your angle. I don't know why I'm so interested in the bangs.
That's hilarious.
Oh gosh. What about you, Victoria?
I feel like I'm gonna have to watch this now. I'm such a baby with scary movies, though. I have to watch it with all the lights on.
You just said, I feel like I have to watch this right now. You haven't seen the original Halloween?
Don't judge me, Jameson.
Whoa!
It is a non-judgmental year, okay? It is 2020.
No. 2020 is the year of judgment. We're coming down on you. I've even seen that one.
I know. I need to listen when I watch it with me so I can hold people's hands, leave all the lights on. I used to love scary movies. That was a
year from now.
Yeah. No, I promise I will watch the original. I will make you guys proud, and then that'll be my pop culture pick of the week. I'll be like, guess what I watched this week? I'm gonna wait a little bit closer to Halloween though.
For the next year, I'm just gonna check in on that.
Victoria, have you watched it yet? Not yet.
Yeah. Just watch it during the daytime when you're doing a chore. That's what I always do when I'm watching scary movies. So I can be like, nope. I'm folding laundry. This isn't in my backyard. Yeah. And it's 90 degrees and sunny out.
I love that strategy of just halfway avoidance, Yeah.
Yes.
Just watching it with my fingers.
Solid. Yes. I always do that, where it's I'm just ready to close, but I'm like, one eye.
I want to watch it, but not really.
Okay, my pop culture pick of the week, it's kind of it was a throwback for me. Kristen Cavallari posted a picture of her and Steven on her Instagram. Yes. I was that person that was obsessed with Laguna Beach. No shame in my game. And then I was obsessed with the hills, all of that. So seeing them, they've always been friends, and just seeing them kind of tease everyone. And I was just like, can we just have another Laguna Beach reunion? We don't even need a full season. We just need a reunion episode. You know what I mean? And then that's it. And then I'll be good. So
yeah, exactly.
That was my pop culture pick of the week.
Not the New Hills, but just one special.
I was a little disappointed in the New Hills. I'm not gonna part of me was like, oh, this is exciting. But then I was like, well, it's just not the same. So
it didn't age well.
I just, but one episode I'd be down.
I will say, what's his name with the crystals?
Spencer
Pratt.
Oh, God, yeah. That kid was made for reality television.
The crystal thing was
a character.
He follows me on Twitter, and every 3 years he'll like one of my tweets, and I'm always like, oh, I forgot you're here. So
oh my God.
Well, okay, that calls for you to do something with the crystals on Twitter and see what happens.
Yeah, just bring it up and see what happens. So anyways, I'd be down for a reunion episode. That's my pick.
Okay. So my pop culture pick of the week is the new Mulan movie is officially going to come out on streaming. I have been looking forward to this movie for as long as it was rumored to even be happening. And then it had a premiere date. I had it in my calendar. I had my friend and I were going to go see it together. We were so excited. And then coronavirus happened. So that didn't happen. And then they kept pushing it back. And I was like, I'm never going to see this movie ever. And then they announced this week that they're going to bring it to streaming. It's going to be super expensive to rent, but it's super expensive to the movies anyways.
$30.
Yep.
How much?
$30.
$30?
But listen, that's how much a movie costs.
These days they're $28 for the matinee. Enjoy.
Right? It's you go at a time that a normal person isn't working, and that's already $20, and then you get some goobers. That's a horrible candy. I don't get those.
I still sneak mine in. I'm I just paid $50 for the movie. I'm just gonna bring my own snacks in at this point because I'm gonna pay $10 for a Coke and $15 for a popcorn.
I was never of that camp. I missed that move.
Of sneaking him in.
Yeah,
what? Jameson.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a.
Maybe because you didn't.
Jameson's rich.
Jameson's on that next level bracket. We see where you lie on the tax bracket. That's cool.
I brought in breadsticks one time. I'm bringing a meal. I went to Olive Garden beforehand, and they were want those to go?
In there.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite when he has the tater tots in his pocket. Like, just,
Oh, yeah.
here, do you want a breadstick? Like,
Listen, the thing is that the people who work at movie theaters who are going to police you doing that are generally teenagers, and they don't care. So you just bring in whatever you want to see what happens. Yeah. Also,
although
movie theaters, if you're listening, I don't do that.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't check my purse, please. Or I'll just go to like Walgreens and go get some candy because it's so expensive there. It's like,
we're gonna be on a list.
And now they're offering alcohol and actual food menu items in movie theaters these days. Like, you were just asking to take my bank account, honestly. So actually, the $30 that it's going to cost you to watch Milan does not seem bad anymore. After we just went through all of that, I'm like, nah, you're saving money.
Get one beer, one thing of popcorn, and two tickets. We're saving money. So, anyways, I'm excited to see Mulan. We went around that, but that movie will be dope. So until then, when I can report back on how good it was, don't forget to follow popculture.com. We've got all your up-to-date news. We're on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Anna Rumor.
I'm at Jameson G. Brown.
And I'm at V. McGotomy.
You can drop us a rating, review, subscribe. We're anywhere you get podcasts. You guys know at this point. But if you don't, Spotify, Stitcher, and then we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.